So that's right up at my eye level, probably right at most of our eye levels. And my butterfly in it are really enjoying this this tripod. Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. I know a lot of you out there are interested in being a YouTube creator, or to be on Instagram or Facebook, and all of those, being able to take photos, and in particular video, is very, very important. Obviously, if you're going to go on YouTube, it's absolutely essential. Today we're going to talk about the mechanics, just the simple mechanics of how do I take a video. And you know, you can spend a lot of money on cameras, and that's how I started out. And you know what? I'm almost exclusively shooting with my cell phone. Cell phones have gotten so good that that's all you need is just a good cell phone. Now, I do mean a good cell phone. If you have an older, lower end model, I do recommend, if at all possible, you upgrade. You can use anything. But if you can afford it, and you know, they're giving you financing, so it's like, to get the latest model on a plan you already have is usually between $25 $40 a month at the most, even for the most expensive models. And a lot of times now, when the new ones come out, they're offering you a discount with one of your older phones, and so hopefully you can afford a newer phone. You need three things. You're going to need a super wide angle lens, you're going to need a regular angle lens, and you're going to need a telephoto lens. And any modern current flagship phone will offer you those three things, because then you can just tap on one and go from lens to lens, and you can get a different picture. Why don't we show them right here? Tap on, what are we on now? We're on probably this regular camera. Okay, tap on the wide angle. Everything around me, there's more around me. It's the super wide angle, so wide picture, much wider picture, and I am smaller in the picture. So that's what you're getting. The main subject is smaller. The things on my table are now much smaller, but you've got a big area. Well, that's really important if you go inside a van. When I go inside a van, I'm almost always on the super wide angle, because it's a narrow space and I want to get a long area, a wide area. So I will almost always be on the wide angle. Now, let's go back to the one, there'd be two trees on the Samsung. And now you see we're just where we were. You see me, I'm pretty good sized in the shot. You want the talent, the person you're talking to be fairly big in the shot. And you can see the things on the table, which we're going to talk about. 3X. This is a 3X. And now I probably fill the frame, don't I? So that's not the shot we would ever use. But these are the three main shots that you go watch a movie. These are the three shots you're going to see. You're going to see a wide angle, a close up, and a very close up. That's the three. You know, there's many more variations on and in betweens, but that's it. And so you're going to want the 3X, because sometimes people are going to be far away, or groups or animals and whatever. You want the telephoto. That's called a telephoto. So telephoto, regular, super wide. When you buy a phone, you want to spend the money and get the three of them. That's important. I'm using what you're watching me on right now is the Samsung S21 Ultra. So the first thing I buy is a case. There's so many cases, and you have a preference, and I'm not going to tell you you're right or wrong. I like wallets. I like to cover my screen. That's all. I'm damaging and hard on phones, so that's what I buy, is a case. But whatever you like, buy a good protective case. Now, to use it, I take it out of the case. So I like to put it on a cage. This is a cage, and so this is a cage I bought for cameras, real cameras, and it will hold a real camera. But if you just put a phone holder on it, it'll hold a phone in here every bit as well as it'll hold a regular camera. And I'll show you in a minute. This one has holes all over the top. That's very important, and I'll show you why that's important. Audio is one of the most important things, and while the audio on this thing is very good, if you're 10 feet away, it gets pretty poor pretty fast. And if there's any wind, which there almost always is in the desert, it gets pretty poor pretty fast. So adding better sound will come up. And the reason why being able to add things here is because I can add a microphone really easily on the top. I think a cage, and I think the most important thing about a cage is, this is the way I use it. I get it at the bottom and I put my elbows right into my ribs. And now my whole body is the platform. Not my hands, it's not out here, it's not out here, it's right locked in and I'm moving my body. And if I want to do a slide in to you, I will take a step and my whole body will move. I won't just take the camera and stick it out there because now I'm very unsteady. I'm very wobbly out here. It's just mechanics. So it's how do you mount it? Well, this is just a standard, you know, you've seen a million of these. I think I have a couple here. Here's the best one that I love the most, but you can get them for, you know, $1. They're just really cheap. What I like about a little more expensive one like this is you can open it. You have to use a screw to open it, put the camera in, you screw it down, and you can get it tight. It's not just popping out of there. One of the problems with the newer phones, and I really hate that they're doing this, is they're eliminating 3.5 millimeter audio jacks. Very few, this phone doesn't have one. The latest iPhones don't have them. The chances are you're going to buy a phone, if you buy a flagship phone in 2021, you're not going to get the 3.5. That's a 3.5 if you're wondering what I'm talking about. That's a standard 3.5 millimeter audio jack. It goes to your headphones, it goes to everything. You know, these are universal. But now this camera doesn't have one, so how do I plug audio into it? Well, I'm afraid you have to get a USB adapter. This is a USB-C, which is what I'm going to have to use on here. And if you have an Apple iPhone, you're going to use a Lightning adapter. It'll be the exact same thing. It just won't have a USB-C end. It'll have a Lightning end. And there are different ones of these. I've had really good luck with this. It's a cable creation. It's awkward, but they don't fail. And some of them have failed really quickly. At any rate, so audio. Sound is so important. Audio is almost as important as your video, and you want to get it right. You want to get them both right. But if you got to mess one up, let it be the video and not the audio. Do good audio. I've been using these for a very long time. This is a Rode Wireless Go. I love this thing so much. It's $200 and it comes with the receiver and one transmitter. Rode Wireless Go. Fantastic. I've been using them for years and they were perfect. They run so great. You never have a problem. You turn them out, you open them, you turn them on, you put them on, and they just work 100% of the time. Well, they came out with the Model 2. Far, far better. I like it so much. This is good. What I love so much about it is it has two different transmitters and one receiver. So the one receiver, I only have one person going, so I'm not using it right now. This will go on the camera mount, and I'll show you how I'd mount it on here in just a minute. It's got a little clip, and then I would put this on me and this on another person that I was interviewing, and then they would both wirelessly go into this, and then from a cable from this into the phone. Now I have two people being recorded at the same time. It's so close, you're not picking up wind. I've never picked up wind with one of these. It's amazing. Okay, so the next thing you really got to get is a tripod. This one is carbon fiber, and it's going to really, really work well. It's as light as you can reasonably get it. And on the tripod is a head. This thing up here, this is called a video head. So if I'm panning, there's Cody's right over here, you can't see him, but if Cody's running across here, or Buffalo's running across here, or Deer's running across here, or my friend Joe's running across here, well, first I'd want to get it level, which I'm not going to take time to do. If you don't get it level, it'll not pan level. Once you get everything set up level, it will pan level. This is panning. This is just following an action across. So there's only two axes, and this is tilting. And you can move it, you can see it's going slowly. I can adjust it, it's locked, but and I can tighten it so it just barely turns. I'm putting a pretty good solid pressure on it, or I can leave it completely loose and it goes up and down. It also has the same mechanism for going around in circles, or I can, this is the tighten, this is the knob for, I'm putting pretty good pressure on it to make it go around now. And of course, with two axes, you can go in a V. So I'll start down and I'll cut up at a 45-degree angle. That's what you do with two axes. You can get 45-degree angles, and you don't get bumping up and down and falling and flopping. So this is called a video tripod. This is a Manfrotto, which is a really good one. I've been very happy with it. So I've got you set up basically so that you can record great audio video, and hopefully you're pretty happy with it. Now, the one last thing I want to cover is how to get your material off here. You've shot some great video, audio together. Now, how do you get it off, and how do you work with it? Well, if you've got an iPhone, it's so simple. You airdrop it. You know, if you within the Mac universe. So if you have Mac laptops, a Mac Air, Mac iPad Pro, whatever you've got, you can move it within each other with the airdrop. Just a couple of taps, and you're done. So with the Samsung, it's very simple as well. I personally like to do everything by cable. I think cable is almost always faster, but not always. But I always use cable anyway. And so this has a app. Every Samsung phone now comes with an app called My Files. You tap My Files. You take your SSD drive. You plug it in. And now it will search and find that T5 SSD drive. And then you just drag and drop like you would on either a Mac or a Windows PC. Okay, so that's how you can very easily get them off of both systems. And if you have an iPad or an iPhone, you can also connect your SSD drive to them and move them to that in a very similar way. So ultimately, I think you should always get it off and get it onto an SSD drive, external hard storage that you can pass around and just use as backup. So I intend for this to be just the first video. My favorite hobby is cameras. So I've got cameras, and we might show you some advanced topics with smartphones. We might go in and show you how to edit on smartphones or an iPad or whatever you're using, even a PC. We could do that really easily for you. Or we might do more advanced topics on cameras, which cameras to buy, lenses, all that. It's my hobby. I enjoy it. But this will get you started. I'm just getting you a very basic starting. We'll talk advanced topics in other videos. I hope you got something out of this video. I hope this gave you an idea that I can do this, and with just a few things I can do it better, but you don't have to buy a thing. If you've got a phone, you can make YouTube videos tomorrow. So hope you got something out of it. If you did, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, tell your friends, and we'll talk to you later.